Guys, welcome back to Live PST. You're here with Allan. It is our class on Friday, and we have an exciting but kind of packed Friday class for you guys. So in our first class today, what we need to be doing, of course, is we gotta do some review. So we're gonna be doing some review for our grammar for this week, and also some for some vocabulary. Now, there is way too much stuff to do, so I'm not gonna be doing everything in detail. And even then, it's still going to expand into the second class most likely, but we will see how it goes. Anyhow, in our second class, we are supposed to be doing speaking practice, which is always a little bit weird when doing it live. But we got a bunch of questions, and I'm going to go over the answers, or what I would say in order to respond to these answers. And in our third class, I'm a little bit I feel a little bit bad because I think yesterday I said we were going to be doing some music listening, but actually I didn't know that we were not doing music listening. So unfortunately, guys, we're going to be taking a look at this kind of what happens if, or what will happen if worksheet, and we'll be looking at that. But most likely we'll still be going over stuff from the second class. We just have a lot of information to go over today. But if you guys are here, please say hello and tell me how you're doing. How are you doing this Friday? It's the last work day of the week. Of course, we've got the weekend to look forward to. We've got Saturday and Sunday. Hooray! What are your plans for the weekend? Are you guys gonna do something fun? For me, what did you guys do last night, of course? For me, I stayed up probably too late trying to fix my stupid computer, and I couldn't get it to work, so that was pretty frustrating. So unfortunately, I think I have to go to a repair shop tomorrow, so that's not fun. But everything with my family was pretty good, but unfortunately, I didn't sleep enough because I stayed up too late trying to fix my stupid computer, all right? What a mistake on my part. But please tell me how you guys are doing if you're here. Now, like I said before, first class, we gotta do some review for our grammar and also for our vocabulary. And let's take a look-see here. Of course, our grammar for this week, the main focus was conditionals, but specifically, we were focused on the first and also the zero conditional. But remember, with any kind of conditional, is basically broken into two parts, right? The if conditional and then the main clause. Or you can switch it around and you have the main clause first and then the if clause secondly, right? But just remember, if you do switch it around and start with the main clause first, you don't need to separate the clauses with a comma. If you do start with the if clause first, you do need to use a comma. But we did also yesterday take a quick look at using the second conditional, which was good, but we never looked at the third conditional, so please don't worry yourselves about the third conditional too much. But I think a good idea just to get started, guys, is please take a look at this sheet here, this kind of infographic sheet, where they have summarized the use of the zero, first, second, and third conditional. So let's take a look at the top left where we've got some information about the zero conditional. It says here, zero conditional is used to talk about general truths and general habits or facts, right? So what we got here is the basic structure is if plus present simple, comma, present simple. So basically the grammar structure for the zero conditional is quite easy, right? So just to reiterate, zero conditional, the grammar structure is if plus present simple, comma, which is important, and then present simple. Now, another thing to keep in mind here, of course, is this portion here is the if clause or if statement, and the second portion is something we could just refer to as the main Or some people call it the main or conditional clause. Yeah. Anyhow, now remember also that you can change them around, right? But if you change them around, you're going to remove that comma, right? So the example we have here is like a scientific fact or a mathematical fact, actually. If you add 2 and 2, you get 4, right? That's very basic, right? Or we know if you burn yourself, you feel pain, right? If you burn yourself with fire, you feel pain. Now, keep in mind, of course, that you can switch these around, right? So if we do switch them around, what we're going to do here is say, you feel pain if you burn yourself. And it's nice and easy to switch this around because all we need to do is like switch it around and then take the comma out and we're good to go. All right, guys, so that is the zero conditional. Just remember, compared to the first, the second, and the third conditional, the zero conditional is the conditional that we use the least. It is useful, but it's just not as commonly used as the first, second, and third conditional, right? Because it's only really used to talk about things that are generally true or general habits or facts, right? So let's skip on down, guys, to the first conditional. The first conditional is used when we are talking about things being possible or likely in the future, right? So, sorry guys for coughing. I think I'm just getting a sore throat, but it's not because of COVID-19. It's just because I'm talking all the time, right? Anyhow, the first conditional, yeah, like I said, talking about possibility or things being possible or at least very likely to happen in the future. And that's why the first conditional is the most commonly used conditional and thus the most important to learn how to use, right? So our structure here is also not really too hard. If plus present simple, comma, then will plus an infinitive, right? So our example here is very simple. It says, if it rains later, we will stay at home, right? Nice and easy. So if it rains later, there's our if clause in the present simple. We will stay at home. Will plus infinitive, right? Will stay. We will stay at home. All right, so maybe let me write another example on the board though. Give me a second here. I just got to find the eraser. Now, I don't want to erase everything here, but I'm just going to erase the example here for the zero conditional. And so we'll write down here first conditional if plus present simple, comma, will plus infinitive, right? Period. So again, we have our if clause or statement, and secondly, our main clause, and of course separated by a comma, once again, unless we switch it around, right? So we already looked at an example on the sheet, but let's think of another example. What could I say? Possibility about the future. Yeah, this is something that, somebody would often say. If I don't feel tired tonight, I will stay up late and watch movies. Okay, so there we go. If I don't feel tired tonight, and of course this is our if clause, comma, I will stay up late and watch movies. And of course, this is our main clause. Now again, we could invert things or change things around, and that would make the sentence just a little bit different. I will stay up late and watch movies. Then no comma. If I don't feel tired tonight. Oh God, that looks terrible. Sorry. Tonight. Okay, guys, now I know this is a little bit small because I'm kind of using the very bottom of the blackboard. Well, technically whiteboard here. But yeah, I think we're good. I think we've done a lot of practice this week in regards to the zero conditional and the first conditional, so I think you guys should be okay. Now, I know yesterday we did go over the second conditional in a bit of detail. So let's also take a quick look at the second conditional, although this is something that will not show up on your quiz, right? But anyhow, the second conditional, when you use this, you are talking about impossible things in the present or unlikely things in the future. So I think another easier way to put it is when you're using the second conditional, you are talking about like unreal imaginary events, right? Things that are not going to happen, to be honest, right? So our structure here is more complex than it is for the zero and the first conditional. And that makes the second conditional just a little bit harder, right? So I'll just be lazy, I'll use a number. But basically our structure here is if plus past simple. So not the present, unlike the zero and the first, comma, would plus infinitive. So to be honest, it's not like the grammar structure here is incredibly hard, but it is harder than the zero and first. So you've got your if, then you've got plus past simple, and as usual, a comma, and then you're going to have would plus infinitive, right? So there we go. So if plus past simple, of course, this is our if clause. And then secondly, we've got our main clause. Oakley dokley. All right, and again, just like the zero, first, and third conditional as well, you can switch them around. That is okay. Now, our example here is kind of fun, at least the one here. It says, if I won the lottery, I would sail round the world, right? Sounds wonderful. So if I won the lottery, of course, this is our if statement, comma, I would sail around the world. This is our conditional clause or main clause. Okay, so let's think of another quick example here. Let's say, I don't know, if I were, now I'm using were because it's a past simple, right, of the be verb. If I were, gotta think of something interesting. If I were the president of the United States, I would resign, right? I would quit. So anyhow, you can see here we've got if plus past simple. If I were the president of the United States, I would resign. So comma, and then would plus infinitive. Would plus our verb here, of course, in the infinitive form, or the present simple, of course, is just resign, right? Now again, you could take these two clauses, our if clause and our main clause, and switch them. And what will we have? It'd be nice and easy. I would resign if I were the president of the United States. And there we go. Okay, guys, so we've taken a look at the 0, first, and second conditional. Of course, for your quiz, you're going to be focusing on the 0 and first conditional, not really the second, but the second is still useful, right? Anyhow, let's move on to something more simplistic. Take a look at the next page. You've got a quick summary again of the 0 conditional and the first conditional, and there's a bunch of examples, so this is really good. This is something, though, that you guys could look at in your own time to remind yourself, and maybe you want to review this before you take the quiz. Okay, so there's this, but what I think we should do is do a quiz together, and by doing this quiz together, it provides you guys with really good review. So please take a look at this grammar quiz here. It is grammar quiz, 0 conditional, choose the best sentence below. So this one, of course, we're not doing a lot of writing, so that's better, so we can kind of get through this quickly. But let me erase this here so that I can write what I believe are the correct answers. But maybe I will make a mistake, and then I will feel really embarrassed, and I will have to give up my Canadian citizenship, and I cannot claim that I am a native English speaker anymore. Oh my God. So we'll see what happens, right? Okay. So guys, we got choose the best sentence below. Let's take a look. Now remember, our focus here is the 0 conditional, right? 0 conditional quiz. And now remember, this is not the quiz that you guys are going to see. This is just like a practice quiz, right? This is just for fun. Yeah. Anyhow, when I stay up late, I am tired the next morning. Or B, when I am tired the next morning, I stay up late. Now, B is actually kind of funny. It's like, when I'm tired the next morning, I will stay up late. Like, that doesn't make any sense, right? So our answer here, for me at least, is pretty obvious. It should be A. Let's take a look at number 2. My little brother cries when he loses games. My little brother loses games when he cries. All right. So which order makes more sense? Like, my little brother cries when he loses games, or my little brother loses games when he cries? Now, honestly, actually, both of them do make sense. Like, if the little brother is playing a game and he starts crying, of course, he is going to lose. But I think the first one makes more sense. My little brother cries when he loses games, because he's crying after losing a game. B makes it sound like my little brother loses games when he cries. It sounds like the little brother is crying when he's playing a game, and thus he loses, right? But yeah, our obvious answer here is, in my opinion, A. Okay, number 3, coffee tastes better when you add a little sugar. When coffee tastes better, you add a little sugar. Oh God, okay, so this has got to be A again. That just makes sense. B kind of doesn't make sense. Okay, when I stay at home, I usually feel sick. When I stay at home, I usually feel sick. Now that could make sense, right? Like if you really don't like staying at home, maybe you do feel sick, but it seems a little bit odd. So let's take a look at B. I usually stay at home when I feel sick. That just makes much more sense, right? Like if you feel sick, you should stay at home. So obviously, to me, the answer is B. Okay, let's take a look at number 5. When I start to lose weight, I go on a diet. That doesn't really make sense. Like when this person is beginning to lose weight, then they decide to go on a diet, right? So let's take a look at B. When I go on a diet, I start to lose weight. This makes much more sense, right? When they go on the diet, then they begin to lose weight. So I think, again, the answer here is pretty straightforward. Should be B. Okay, 6. Yes, 6. If it rains, I take my umbrella to work. That makes a lot of sense. B. If I take my umbrella to work, it rains. Well, B is kind of funny. This sounds like the person is cursed, or they have some kind of serious problem, or God hates them or something, right? Because if they take their umbrella to work, it rains. Like, why would that happen to this person? So it doesn't really make sense. If it rains, I take my umbrella to work. That just makes sense, right? And for you guys too, like if it rains, we take our umbrellas to work, don't we? Let's take a look. Number 7. When Thomas watches his favorite TV program, he feels bored. Oh, okay. Thomas watches his favorite TV. Now, it should say his favorite TV program. They made a mistake. When he feels bored, right? So number 7 here, A is a little bit weird, right? When Thomas watches his favorite TV program, he feels bored. Like, why would he get bored when he watches his favorite TV program, right? So that doesn't make sense. Like, Thomas's favorite TV program is boring. It makes no sense, right? But B makes sense. Like, Thomas watches his favorite TV program when he feels bored. So when he feels bored, he watches his TV program to alleviate or get rid of his boredom. So honestly here, of course, B just makes much more sense. Okay, taking a look at number 8. Carla cries when she watches sad movies. Okay, sounds good, right? B, when Carla cries, she watches sad movies. So B doesn't make sense. Like, she's crying, so why would she watch a sad movie after she starts crying, right? A makes much more sense. Like, when she's watching sad movies, she starts crying. So honestly, this one should be pretty easy. It's definitely A. All right, let's take a look. Number 9. My boss is always angry when I am late for work. Yeah, sounds good. I am always late for work when my boss is angry. Oh man, all of these ones are really funny the other way around. A just makes much more sense. Like, of course the boss is going to be angry when someone's late for work, right? So my boss is always angry when I am late for work. That makes sense. Let's go with A. Number 10. Lots of people go shopping when that store has a sale. Yeah. B, when lots of people go shopping, that store has a sale. That also doesn't really make sense. When lots of people are shopping, the store suddenly decides to have a sale. But when lots of people go shopping, or lots of people go shopping when that store does have a sale, that just makes a lot more sense. So we got to go with A. Okay, number 11. Most dishes break if you drop them on the floor. Okay, I'm pretty sure A is our answer here. B, if most dishes break, you drop them on the floor. No. So actually, yeah, the other way around, the sentences are really funny. They actually still make grammatical sense, and in a certain context could make sense, but generally they just sound really weird. 12. When Sam doesn't feel well, he travels by boat. So when Sam feels kind of sick, he decides to go on a boat. Does that make sense? Not really, right? Let's take a look at B. When Sam travels by boat, he doesn't feel well. That makes much more sense, right? So maybe Sam suffers from seasickness. Okay, 13. You should be in a movie theater when you are quiet. A doesn't make sense. You should be quiet when you are in a movie theater. Of course, right? So B, I would say obvious answer here. Okay, 14. Animals die if they don't get enough food. Well, yeah. B, if animals die, they don't get enough food. B is wrong, but B could easily be corrected. If it said if animals die, they didn't get enough food, that would actually be correct if you use the past tense. But yeah, it should be A. Animals die if they don't get enough food. It's just a general scientific fact that's just true, right? Why did I write so much? Okay, 15. When Eduardo smiles, he always gets an A+ on his exam. When when Eduardo gets an A+ on his exam, he always smiles. B makes much more sense, like he's smiling after getting an A+, right? Okay, 16. People like to swim in the ocean when sharks bite them. Okay, yeah, people like to swim in the ocean when sharks bite them. Yeah, that's just really funny. B, sharks sometimes bite people when they swim in the ocean. That just makes much more sense. Okay, now let's check the answer key. How did I actually do here, right? So our answer key here is A, B, B, A, B, A. Then A, B, B, A, B, B. Hooray! I got them all correct. Now, like I said before, if I did get one incorrect, I would have to give up my Canadian citizenship and be kicked out of the country, and I would no longer be a native speaker, right? Anyhow, guys, I thought this was actually really good practice. I hope you guys maybe paused and started doing this before I did it, but we do have one more form of practice here, and this one is more about the first conditional, so we could take a look at this too. And honestly, that zero conditional practice, like the sentences are, for me at least, really funny if you think of them in the wrong order. It's kind of entertaining. Now we do also have a first conditional worksheet here, guys. Take a look at this one here. It says grammar worksheet first conditional. Now it's got a breakdown, right? Nice and easy. If clause, main clause, and the other way around, main clause, if clause. So, and we have the example here, like if it rains, comma, he will bring his umbrella, or he won't play outside. Both of them make sense. Now the other way around, we have our main clause, he will bring his umbrella, or he won't play outside, no comma, if it rains, right? So it says here the first conditional is used to talk about things that may possibly happen in the future. And I know this week I keep repeating that again and again and again, but it's really good to like hammer this into your heads, right? The zero, first, second, and third conditional, but you guys will do that at a later date. Anyhow, so what they want us to do here is complete the sentences below by making first conditional statements. Use your imagination. Okay, so you have to use your imagination here, and like number one we have, if we don't arrive on time, our teacher will be angry. Makes sense, it's pretty good. I will watch TV if I have time. Now, we do have an answer key here, guys, but this one here, you're using your imagination, so there are so many possible answers, right? So I'm just going to write down here first conditional worksheet. Wow, I forgot the T. Sorry guys, I think I'm incredibly tired today and kind of burnt out. But let's take a look at number 3. We are starting with our if clause first, so that's good. Usually when you start with the if clause first, it just feels like a bit easier, but just remember it doesn't have to be that way. If he gets up at 5 o'clock, comma, something. Okay, if he gets up at 5 o'clock, what? So we've got our if clause, comma, now we got our main clause, right? Could anybody out there give me an idea of what we could fill in here? What could we say? If he gets up at 5 o'clock, what? So, of course, we could, there's so many things we could say here. Now, keep in mind, we're using the first conditional. It's not the same as the zero conditional, right? If plus present simple, comma, will plus infinitive. If he gets up at 5 o'clock, he will what? Now we need verb in the infinitive form, or the present simple form, he will, I don't know, feel tired later. And I mean like later in the day. Actually, maybe I should add that. Later in the day. Because he woke up at 5 o'clock, right? Okay, so that's my answer for number 3. That looks pretty good. Number 4. We will be hungry. We will be hungry, blank. Okay, so we will be hungry, blank here. Now, we're starting with our main clause first, and then we're going to have our if clause afterwards. So just keep in mind when we do that, we don't need our comma, right? So we'll be hungry if what? If something happens, we will be hungry, right? But of course I could just say here, we will be hungry if we don't eat lunch. Because basically anybody will, right? If we think about it the other way around, if we don't eat lunch, comma, we will be hungry. So pretty simple stuff. Okay, so that's number 4. Let's take a look at number 5 together. If the phone rings. If the phone rings, comma, blank. So this time again, we're starting with our if clause, comma, main clause. So will plus infinitive. If the phone rings, I don't know. If the phone rings, I will pick it up. Or I will answer the phone, right? And that should be good enough. So I hope you guys can see this clearly. If the phone rings, comma, I will pick it up. Or other way around, you would have to change it a little bit. You might want to say something like, I will pick up the phone if the phone rings, right? Okay, let's take a look at a few more of these, and we're probably going to stop it without completing it. I will laugh. Okay, so this one sounds fun. I will laugh. So we are not starting with our if statement first. We are starting with a main clause first. So no comma. I will laugh if I don't know. I will laugh if he tells me a funny joke, right? Yeah, that makes sense, right? If he tells me a funny joke, comma, I will laugh. Okay, pretty easy stuff. Let's take a look at number 7. If your exam isn't tomorrow. Oh, if our exam isn't tomorrow. And of course, we are starting with our if statement first, so comma, blank. If our exam isn't tomorrow, now we got our, so we're going to be using we as our subject. We will celebrate, right? If our exam isn't tomorrow, we will celebrate. Yeah, our exam is not tomorrow. Huzzah, hooray for us, right? Okay. Let's take a look at number 8, guys. I think this is the last one we will do. They won't buy a new car. Okay. They won't buy a new car. They won't buy a new car. Okay, so we're starting with our main clause first, not our if clause, right? So here, we're not going to be having a comma, no comma, right? They won't buy a new car. They won't buy a new car. So they won't buy a new car if they lack money, right? So lack means like to not have enough of something, right? to lack is a verb. Basically means to not have enough money. Well, sorry. To not have enough of something, right? They won't buy a new car, main clause, no comma, if they lack money. If we do this the other way around, if they lack money, comma, they won't buy a new car. All right. Now, I hope that makes sense to you guys. I'm not going to go through the rest of the answers here. And remember, there is no set answer. You just want to try to make a main or if clause and you want to make it grammatically correct. So there is actually an answer key here, but the answer key doesn't make sense because you could have a completely different answer and it could also be correct. Like for number 3 here, they wrote, if he gets up at 5 o'clock, he will be tired. Okay, so that's pretty close to mine, right? But I wrote, if he gets up at 5 o'clock, he will feel tired later in the day. That's also correct. There's nothing wrong about that. Number 4, they wrote down, we will be hungry if we don't eat. And I wrote down, we will be hungry if we don't eat lunch. Pretty much the same thing. 5, if the phone rings, I will answer it. Oh, pretty much the same thing. If the phone rings, I will pick it up. Number 6, I will laugh if you tell me a funny story. Wow, my answers are very similar anyhow. I will laugh if he tells me a funny joke. Number 7, if our exam isn't tomorrow, it will be on Monday. Okay, my one's very different. Our exam isn't tomorrow, we will celebrate. Number 8, they won't buy a new car if they don't save any money. My answer is pretty similar, right? They won't buy a new car if they lack money. Okay, so what you would probably want to do is, write your own answers to this, then in detail check them and see, or have like a partner of yours check it and see if they're grammatically correct. And then after, you find out how many you have correct and how many you have wrong, then you can find out like what score you got following the answer key here. And that might be kind of interesting, right? Anyhow, guys, now, in the first class, we were supposed to talk about vocabulary and review vocabulary as well as the grammar. I think we're basically done with the grammar enough. I think we've done enough, so I'm going to erase this off the board. With the vocabulary, what we are going to do is look at our 2 sheets. Now remember, on Monday, and I believe also on Tuesday, I did a review of it. We went over a bunch of different expressions, and those were expressions related to chance, right? And we had things like, it's anyone's call, fat chance. What else did I teach you guys? Rotten luck. I think I taught you that ship has sailed, to be sitting pretty. And also along with to have something drop into one's lap, to jump on the bandwagon, to luck out, etc., etc. What I think would be a good idea is for you guys to review the 10 ones we went over on Monday. So please do that. But what I would like to do is take a look at these other expressions that we did not cover on Monday. But I'd like to go over these now because this will be fresh and kind of interesting. We're going to look at this now, and this will probably expand into our second class, which is okay. So let's take a look at some expressions. And what do we got here? Okay. If it's not one thing, it's another. Now, this expression is used by itself. You don't need to add anything here. This expression is usually used when you are stressed out, when you are upset and kind of angry. And what's happened here is that bad things are happening one after another in quick succession, right? Like you drop your wallet, you bang your knee on the table, and then you find out what do you find out? You find out your computer's broken. And you're like, oh man, if it's not one thing, it's another, right? Like bad things keep happening to me, right? And that's what it says for the explanation. Too many things are going wrong, one after another. So I'm not going to write down an example here because this is used by itself. If it's not one thing, it's another. Oh, God, right? I guess I could use, like, to give you a real life example. Like this morning, I woke up. All right, well, my daughter is 2.5. She came into our bed at 6 in the morning. It woke me up. I couldn't go back to sleep, so I just went out on the couch. And then I did go back to sleep on the couch, and then I woke up late. I need to be here at 8. My apartment is pretty close to Global College, but like about a 10-minute walk. But I woke up at about 8:10, and I need to be here at 8:30, right? So I only had 20 minutes. So I took like a really quick shower, got my lunch out of the fridge, got a bottle of water, you know, quickly put it into my bag, ran off, and then on the way here, I'm like, okay, if I don't get coffee, I'm gonna go insane. So I did get some coffee on the way, probably a bad choice, but I got it very quickly, and I managed to get here just 2 minutes late at 8:32. But when I was walking here, like, you know, okay, so I didn't sleep enough, I woke up late, I had to take a really quick shower, I was in a hurry, I did get coffee, but I banged my foot on a stone, or, well, not really a stone, a big rock, which kind of hurt my foot, and then I spilled out some coffee. So in the morning I was thinking like, geez, if it's not one thing, it's another. Like I'm having a lot of problems today, right? Okay, the second thing we have here, guys, is if not. And if not is very useful. It says if it does not happen or if it is not true, right? So there are so many different ways I could include this in a sentence or in an example. If not is commonly used, right? It's usually used when you are talking to somebody maybe about a plan, like if he comes here at 9, then we will have dinner, right? If not, right, if that does not happen, then alternative plan, right? So usually what you'll do is you'll have, like, if not will be connected to an initial sentence, right? You'll have your first sentence, which will be in a conditional sentence. So like number 1, you'll say some kind of conditional sentence. If he doesn't, or no, what was I saying? If he arrives at, let's say, 8 o'clock, we will have dinner with him, right? And of course, here's a nice first conditional sentence, right? If he arrives at 8 o'clock, we will have dinner with him. Now our second sentence with if not, if this situation does not occur, right? If he does not arrive at 8 o'clock. If not, what do I want to say here? If not, we will put his food in the fridge. And there we go. I hope that makes sense, right? Anyhow, if not is really good when you're saying like, okay, like if this situation does not occur, then we will do this alternative thing, right? This alternative plan. Like I might say to my wife like, hey, if I'm really busy, I won't be able to get home until 7. If not, if I'm not busy, right? If not, I will get home at 5:30, right? So if not is actually very, very commonly used and pretty useful. Really, really, really good stuff. Let's take a look at one more here before we take a break. Now that was just an example by itself. So our next example will be if push comes to shove, etc., etc., etc. Okay, if push comes to shove. Now, even before looking at this, we know what push is, and maybe you guys know what shove is as well. Shove and push have a similar meaning. They're both like this kind of action, right? Now, push can mean physically push, right? Or it can mean like to emotionally or mentally push somebody, put some pressure on them, right? But shove has basically the same meaning as the physical meaning of push, like this action. But shove is usually stronger, right? Shove somebody, right? So that's the meaning. So if push comes to shove, it kind of means here like if pushing becomes shoving, which is stronger, right? So it starts off strong and gets stronger than something. So what does it mean? If we have to use force, or if we have to be stronger, like if pushing doesn't work, then we're going to have to shove, right? So this is an interesting expression. I cannot say that it is incredibly useful and that I use it very often, but I do use this sometimes, right? Like recently my wife and I were talking about how we can discipline our daughter because she's in the terrible twos and she doesn't really listen to us very well, unfortunately, but I think a lot of people have this experience with their child when they're 2 years old. So we kind of say like, you know, if she doesn't listen, then we have to, you know, give her more punishments, right? Not physical punishments, but we have to punish her stronger. So that's when we would use this expression. I'd say if push comes to shove, we will have to deliver more serious punishments, right? We will have to push harder, right? Now, so when you see that expression, when push comes to shove, it says like, you know, you're gonna have to rely on force, but it doesn't have to be like physical force. Don't think about it like that. It just means we have to move from pushing to shoving. We're gonna have to take stronger action. That's the meaning. All right, guys, but a lot of those other expressions there are also really good, but it looks like we're getting into our break here. So let's take a break first, then finish these expressions off in the second class, and then move on to our speaking practice. So I'll see you guys again in about 10 minutes. Okay guys, well, we had to start just a little bit late, some kind of technical issues. You know, it happens sometimes, right? Anyhow, right before the break, we were going over these if expressions, and we just got if push comes to shove done. So we've got a couple more to take a look at. Actually, quite a few. So let's take a look at if so. So we had if not, and now we've got if so. And if so is used to say, like, well, if that happens or if that thing is true, dot, 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 right? So again, just like with if not, there has to be a statement first and then a kind of response to that statement. Usually person A is saying this, and then person B is saying, well, if so, yada, 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 right? So I know that's kind of hard to explain, but they're saying, like, if so, if that is true, or if that thing happens, then dot, 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 dot. So let's think of an example here. Let's imagine somebody says, and again, you'll start with a first conditional sentence, or not just a first conditional sentence first, but a conditional sentence first. So let's say if global warming gets worse, we will be in big trouble, right? So we have a nice first conditional sentence here. If global warming gets worse, so it's in the present simple, comma, we will be in big trouble, will plus infinitive. So let's say the person who responds to this wants to say, well, if that's true. If it's true that global warming is going to get worse, you know, blah, blah, blah. So they respond by saying, if so, we should move far up north. Because maybe they think going up north, they will escape some of the problems, right? So just remember, if so is basically saying, like, when it comes to this statement here, it's saying, like, if that is true, or if that is actually going to happen, blah, 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 right? So if so is pretty useful, right? Because there are lots of cases where you might agree with somebody. You might want to say, like, well, if so, then maybe we should do that, or maybe we should do this, right? If somebody says, like, okay, well, if it's busy next week, we are going to have a difficult time, right? And another person says, well, okay, well, if so, make sure you get enough sleep this weekend, right? If that is true, and next week is going to be busy, then maybe you want to get a lot of sleep this weekend because we're going to have a tough week next week, right? So if so is quite useful, just like if not. Okay, but let's take a look at our next one, guys. Now, I'm going to be honest here, I don't use this expression so much, so actually, let's skip if the shoe fits, wear it. Sorry, guys, skip that one. But I do use if worst comes to worst. If worst comes to worst. And it looks a little bit similar to, like, if push comes to shove. If pushing doesn't working, we have to shove. We have to use force. But if worst comes to worst means, like, if the situation continues to get worse, if it's getting bad, then we'll have to do something else, right? So yeah, the explanation here says, if things turn out badly, here is what we can do. So usually, again, this is when you are, you're usually using this when you are talking to somebody about a problem, right? And they state a problem, and then you say, well, if it does turn out badly, we're going to have to do this thing. So again, let's imagine a conversation between two people, and person A is going to be making a sentence in a conditional in a conditional form. Let's say, if the coronavirus gets worse, we will let's say something else. The economy will decline, right? It'll go on a downward trend. Boo, 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 boo. So maybe person B responds by saying, well, if worst comes to worst. So what they're kind of saying here, like, well, yeah, if the situation gets really, really bad, we should move to the countryside. Because maybe they're thinking like, well, if the situation gets bad, it's usually going to be bad in urban areas, right? In large cities. So let's move to the countryside where there's less people, and then maybe we're less likely to catch the coronavirus. And maybe the economy is better. And this is generally true right now in Canada. The economy is better in smaller towns right now than it is in big cities like Vancouver, because these smaller towns are more isolated and far away from urban centers. So they're actually doing better. Anyhow, so if worst comes to worst. Let's take a look at the next one. If you can't beat them, join them. It's a funny expression. It's not very useful, but the meaning of it is, since we cannot defeat them, let's work together with them. This might be in a situation where maybe like in a team sport, or yes, some kind of sporting event or some kind of competition, the other side, the other team, the other person is better, and you think like, well, I can't beat this person, so let's join them. Let's work with this person instead of trying to compete with them because they're better than me or they're better than us, right? If you can't beat them, join them. But I'm going to be honest here, this is not an expression I use very often. It's kind of a fun one, but yeah, let's skip that one. Okay, but I do use the next expression. It's kind of a fun one. If you can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen, right? And that is just used in its own separate sentence. You don't attach anything else to this. The meaning of this is, if you want to be responsible, then you must face difficulties, right? Yeah, yes, it does contain that meaning. I think there's another meaning to this. That means like, if this is too hard for you, you should quit, is another meaning to this, right? Like, if somebody's complaining about their job and they're like, oh, I didn't imagine it would be so busy, and I don't know if I can do this, I'm not doing a good job. And you say to them, hey man, if you can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen. And it does kind of contain two meanings. Like, you're saying, hey man, if this is too hard for you, you should quit. But you're also kind of saying, like, if you want to keep this job, you're going to face difficulties. You've got to overcome this, man. So again, you could think of an example in kind of a conversation. Maybe you're talking to a friend. Your friend is person A, and they say like, wow, this job is really tough. I don't know if I can stand it. You know, if they can tolerate it, if they can put up with it, right? So somebody says, well, if you can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen. So basically here, what we're saying is like, one person is complaining about their job and they're like, oh, my job is really hard, right? Wow, this job is really tough. I don't know if I can stand. Whoa, sorry guys, I wrote stand up. Sorry, my mistake. Kind of funny though. Maybe they can't stand up. Can't stand it. They're not sure if they can deal with this job, right? They're having a tough time. So the other person responds, say, well, if you can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen. So again, that kind of contains two meanings. Like, if you can't do the job because the job's too hard, get out of the kitchen, or like quit the job, right? But it could also contain, and also does contain, the meaning like, you know, hey, yeah, it's going to be hard, but you're going to have to face those difficulties and overcome them, right? And if you just think of this expression like literally, like, you know, it would mean like, you know, maybe you're cooking in the kitchen, right? And if you can't stand the heat in the kitchen, like it's getting too hot in the kitchen while you're cooking, right? You're like, ugh, it's so hot in here. Get out of the kitchen, right? Like if it's too hot for you when you're cooking, get out of the kitchen and go somewhere and cool down. Or it could also mean like, if it's too hot for you in the kitchen, you know, get out of the kitchen. Like, come on, of course it's going to be hot in the kitchen. Put up with it. Don't be weak, right? Try your best. So, if you can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen is a very, very fun expression. I do use this sometimes. It's kind of a good one. The last one we have here is what if, right? And what if, there are so many things you could say, right? Because when you start by saying, what if, you're saying to another person, hey, consider this as a possibility, right? Consider this possibility. What if we get pizza tonight, right? Consider the idea of getting pizza tonight. What do you think? What do you think, right? Like if you want to suggest something in like a fun or joking way, then you'll say, what if, and then suggestion, right? Like, hey, what if we go to Disneyland? What do you think about that, right? What do you think? Let's go to Disneyland. Yeah, right? Or like, hey, what if we go to a bar tonight, right? And get some beers, right? Yeah. So this is like a really fun way to suggest something in kind of a joking way. A lot of times when you start with what if, you know, usually you're making a joke, but not always, right? Like, you know, maybe it's late at night and you and your friend just watched a movie about aliens. And you turn to your friend, you're like, what if aliens are real? Your friend's like, whoa, aliens real? Dude, that would be scary. And you're like, yeah. And what if aliens came to Earth and abducted you and kidnapped you and then did experiments on you? Like, what if that happened, man? Oh, dude, that'd be scary. I'd be really scared. Yeah. And what if those aliens took you to their home planet? Like, dude, that would be so weird, dude. Anyhow, so yeah, what if is like a really like kind of funny way to introduce the idea of something being possible, right? But again, it's often used to like suggest something. What if we got pizza from Romano's? What if we went to Iceland this year? What if we traveled to Paris next year? What if you got this new job? What if yada, 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 right? Pretty useful. It's really good. Okay, guys, but let's stop it there with this one. These are all really good expressions, but I highly recommend with the previous sheet that said expressions related to chance, please go over those and study those before you take your quiz this weekend or maybe tonight, right? But what we're supposed to be doing is we're supposed to be doing some first conditional speaking practice, which is always weird in an online class, as I always say. But let me erase this here. And what I'm going to be doing for the speaking practice is looking at the questions with you and demonstrating how I would answer. I think for these ones, because we're using the first conditional, I will be writing my answer on the board. So it will provide a model for you guys. And then, yeah, we'll see how that goes. So guys, we have this sheet here. It says just first conditional at the top. And it says the first conditional is a structure used for talking about possibilities in the present or in the future, right? So again, they remind us of the form and usage. The form here, if plus simple present. Then we got our comma, will and future, or will plus infinitive. Now, these are some examples of questions made with the first conditional. So let's take a look at these questions, right? Questions. And our first question here is, what will you do when you retire in the future, right? Of course, they're not using if here. Instead, they're using when for our if statement because basically everybody is going to retire. Well, maybe not. Maybe if you're in a lot of debt, you have to keep working until you die. Oh no, right? But what will you do when you retire in the future? So when you retire in the future, that is our if statement. So we're going to start with that in our answer. So I'm going to say here, when I, because it said when you, right? When I retire in the future, comma, answer, all right? So now actually I have to think of an actual answer here. What will you do when you retire in the future? It's hard to actually use the first conditional here because using the first conditional, I'm saying this will probably happen or likely happen. And although I am, mid-aged, I'm in my mid-30s, it's really hard for me to think about what I'm going to do when I retire. Like that's so, like I just had some kids, right? Like retirement is really far away. Minimum 20 years, but probably 25 or 30 years, right? So when I retire in the future, Now remember the structure though, subject plus will plus infinitive. So I will, when I retire in the future, I will, well, my wife and I have talked about this before, even though it's so far off into the future. And of course, just like a lot of couples, we often talk about traveling, right? So when I retire in the future, I will travel with my wife around the world. Yeah. Hopefully, right? Hopefully we will travel around the world together. That's a nice retirement plan. Okay, so again though, the main thing here is making sure that you're using the first conditional correctly, and I know that I am because I'm starting with my if statement first, comma, then with the main clause here, will plus infinitive. I will travel with my wife around the world. Okay, let's take a look at number 2. What will you do if you win the lottery one day? Okay, now I actually don't like this question in the first conditional. I prefer if this question were in the second conditional, because remember, second conditional is about like imaginary or unreal or situations that are very unlikely to occur. So honestly, this question should be in the second conditional. It should be, what would you do if you won the lottery one day? Now, it's grammatically correct to still use the first conditional for this kind of situation, but first conditional is talking about things that are likely or probable in the future, and winning the lottery is, like even if I buy the lottery every single week, the chance of me winning the lottery is incredibly low. But anyhow, I will still follow this though. Like, okay, I will answer using the first conditional, but I just want to point that out, that generally speaking, this shouldn't be in the first conditional. It should be a second conditional question. But anyhow, what will you do if you win the lottery one day? So again, I'm going to start here with the if statement or the if clause first. If I win the lottery, if I win the lottery one day, now again, I plus will plus infinitive. Okay, so if I win the lottery one day, I will what? What will I do if I win the lottery one day? So yeah, I really need to think about that. What will I do? What will I do if I win the lottery one day? I don't know, actually that's pretty tough. No, it's not tough, but Yeah, I will purchase. So a verb in the infinitive form. I will purchase a business. Or something like that. Yeah, I'll purchase a business and then run it myself in order to seek financial independence, right? Yay. Okay, anyhow, that's number 2, guys. Number 3, what will you do if you break up with your good friend? Again, I think this question should be in the second conditional because, again, it's like an imaginary situation. So I would prefer if the question were, what would you do if you broke up with your good friend? But again, I'll answer this using the first conditional, but it's not as good. So if I broke up with my good friend, if I broke up with my good friend, and of course this is our if statement, and then I'm going to have my main clause, I will. Okay, now this question would be much better for a young student, maybe in elementary school or high school, or somebody in their 20s. This is a tough question for me because I'm older now, I'm married, I have kids, I have a family to focus on. I have a lot of good friends, but it's really hard for me to think like who is my best friend, right? Because I've got good friends in my hometown, I got good friends I made in Korea, good friends that I made here but they moved away, and now I have good friends here as well. So it's hard for me to think like who is my best friend. I don't know, I have like 3 or 4 best friends or people that I would consider. Now let me think. Yeah, I have like 5 people that I would consider to be really, really good friends of mine. 2 guys from my hometown. 1 guy from Korea but living in Canada. Yeah, anyhow, yeah, I've got about 5 like really good friends or like best friends, but best friend is supposed to only be 1, right? Because best is the top of the top. But anyhow, if I broke up with my good friend. Oh, sorry. Yeah, not best friend, good friend. If I broke up with my best friend, I will hopefully apologize to him and go out for a beer with him. Yeah. Okay, so I know that's like a boring answer, but if I broke up with my good friend, I will hopefully apologize to him. And I'm saying him because most of my good friends are guys. They're like 2 good female friends of mine, anyhow. And go out for a beer with him. Yay! Maybe I wrote go out for a beer with him because I just really want to go out for a beer. Anyhow, number 4, if you want to relax after class, what will you do or watch? This one's okay because relaxing after class is a probable or likely situation. So using the first conditional for the 4th question here is really, really good. But yeah, the 2nd and 3rd questions here would be much better if posed in the 2nd conditional where they would be more imaginary. But anyhow, to begin my 4th one here, if you want to relax after class, what will you do or watch? So I'll start with the if clause first. If I want to relax after class. If I want to relax after class, what will I do or watch? I will. Okay, I don't want to watch something. I really want to go out for a beer, but I'm not going to write that down. What will I do? Want to relax after class? I will. I know this is going to be boring, but it's what I would like to do anyhow. I will take a seat and drink coffee. Oh God, Alan, that is so boring, right? But it's true. This is one way in which I relax. Like if I can just sit down and have a coffee by myself, I usually find it to be very relaxing, almost therapeutic, right? Or maybe if I had some green tea, right? That's a good way to relax, right? But like usually if I want to relax, like if I'm at home, of course, just sit down, sit on the couch and, you know, kind of veg out and watch some TV. And veg out is a good phrasal verb. Veg out means relax, do, in a lazy way. Like veg out means like to be like a vegetable, to be like a, maybe you guys know a couch potato, right? Potato. But yeah, couch potato. Couch potato is basically like a lazy person who stays home all the time and watches TV. Couch potatoes are often found vegging out at home, right? But yeah, no, if I want to relax at home, I will veg out on the couch, maybe watch Netflix and drink a coffee and just, or maybe I will space out, right? Like completely space out and just, right? Anyhow, guys, that's my answer for number 4. But veg out is a good phrasal verb and couch potato is a good noun to pick up. Let's take a look at number 5. If you have some free time on Saturday, will you study more? Okay, so if I have some free time on Saturday, I will. Now the question is, will you study more? Now, of course, I'm not a student, but of course I still read and study, you know, blah, blah, blah. But, you know, Saturday is kind of like family day. It's pretty hard for me to like do my own thing except for at nighttime. So if I have some free time on Saturday, I will probably not study anything, and instead I will just hang out with my family. Oh, such a boring answer, Alan. Wow, incredibly boring. Yes, it's a boring answer, but you know, when you have kids, it's kind of unavoidable that you spend a lot of time with them. Anyhow, so if I have some free time on Saturday, if clause, comma, will plus infinitive, I will probably not study anything, and instead I will just hang out with my family. Okay, all right guys, so we got the first 5 done. These are my example answers. The way you would answer these, of course, would be maybe completely different, maybe a little bit similar, but the important thing to remember is when you are forming the answer to these questions, the best way to do this and the easiest way to do this is to start with if clause first, comma, with like subject, will, infinitive, yada yada, right? Okay, but let's take a look at 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So let me erase this off the board. And yeah, let's take a look at number 6. What medicine will you take if you catch a cold next week? Oh God, don't want to think about getting sick. That's for sure. Not in the age of the coronavirus. So I'm going to start with my if statement. If you catch a cold next week, if not you, in this case I, if I catch a cold next week. Now my answer here is a little bit limited because it's saying what medicine will you take, right? So there's another condition there. But if I catch a cold next week, I will take Buckley's liquid medicine. Now, I'm actually not sure if Buckley's is a Canadian brand. I actually think it is a Canadian brand. They make this really good like cold medication and also fevers and flu. And yeah, so whenever I feel like I'm getting sick or I am sick, I usually get the liquid form of Buckley's cold and flu and then take this. It's pretty effective. Tastes incredibly bad. Like really, really awful tasting stuff, but is very effective. A lot of people don't know this, but Canada has, in the world, like some of the most affordable and best medicine. Canadian medicine. Hi, show le menu. Show le menu. For France people, we take wine. Good for you guys. Yeah, wine. Maybe wine works. I don't know. Yeah, could be good. But yeah, in Canada, try out our medicine. It's pretty good. It's like some of the best. Maybe not the best, but it's pretty good. But I would guess show le menu. Le menu. I don't know if that's the correct pronunciation. Please correct me if I'm wrong. But I'm guessing in France you guys also have some pretty good medicine. But yeah, why not take wine? If it works for you, sounds good. In Canada, we don't, well, we drink wine, of course, but you know, we're kind of more beer drinkers. That seems to help us out a lot more. Okay, number 7, guys. What will you do if you pass the IELTS exam? Okay, this is a terrible question for me because passing the IELTS exam for me is incredibly easy, right? Like I'm a native English speaker. If I cannot pass the IELTS exam, there's something mentally wrong with me, right? But what we got here, of course, we'll start with our if clause first. If I pass the IELTS, oops, is it a capital S? Yeah, sorry, it should be a capital S. IELTS exam. I will... Okay, so again, this question is incredibly, like, kind of boring for me and it doesn't make sense because I'm a native English speaker. So I'm going to try to put myself into the shoes of a non-English speaking person who is maybe living in Canada or the UK or Australia or whatever. If I pass, or maybe I'm living in my home country and I want to go to an English-speaking country where the IELTS exam is acceptable for entry. So if I pass the IELTS exam, I will immigrate. So there's a good verb, right? Immigrate, immigration, right? Immigrate means to like move to another country with the intention of staying and living there. I will immigrate to an English-speaking country like, let's say New Zealand. Like New Zealand, right? Wait, Zealand or Zealand? It's an A. Okay, I might have spelled that wrong to be honest, but I think it's right. But yeah, if I pass, now actually I would probably want to use the second conditional here. If I were a non-English speaking person living in a non-English speaking country, and if I pass the IELTS exam, yeah, I will immigrate to an English-speaking country like New Zealand. Now, of course, I'm not imagining that every non-English speaking person wants to move to an English speaking country. Of course, English speaking countries are not, they're pretty good in general, but I wouldn't consider them to be the best countries in the world. It's really hard to say what is the best country in the world. It depends on the person and their personality, and maybe how much money they want to make or what kind of lifestyle and government they would enjoy. Like, I would say for a lot of people in the world, if you really value freedom and the ability to open a business and you like to travel and see a lot of like different things, then the United States would be a really good option for you. But you have to be willing to work very hard and to be very independent, and you have to know that the government of the United States will not help you very much if you get in trouble. On the other hand, if you find that kind of scary, or you don't like America for whatever reason, Canada is a pretty good alternative. You still have a lot of freedom, or a fair amount of freedom. It is harder to open a business here. Occupations don't pay as much here as they would in America, but still much more than most countries in the world. And you do get a lot of different landscapes, and it can be very beautiful here. But also Australia is a really good option because Australia has a really good economy right now, but if you hate hot weather, don't go to Australia. So I would never live in Australia. It would kill me. I hate hot weather. New Zealand is a good choice, but New Zealand has a relatively poor economy. It is kind of like the poorest English-speaking. No, I might be incorrect, but amongst the major English-speaking countries, it's kind of considered to be the poorest as far as job opportunities and income is concerned. But it's like a really, again, a beautiful place. And then there's England, but like, England's old. Yeah, I can make okay money, but it's kind of old, and I don't want to say this, but kind of dirty, and they got terrible food, right? But it does have like really interesting history, and I'm sorry to say bad things about its food, but it's just true. The food there it's awful and it's expensive. I've been to London, great place, really exciting, interesting history, but too pricey. The value of what you're receiving for what you pay is definitely not worth it. So anyhow, number 7, let's move on to number 8. What will you do if you get your dream job? Wow. If I get my dream job, I will, well, I don't know. If I get my dream job, wow, what is my dream job? Trust me, as you get older, your dream job is always changing, right? The answer for this could just be too simple, and this is generally true, but yeah, if I get my dream job, I will be really happy and super grateful. Like, I'll be really, really thankful to whoever or whatever company gives me my dream job, right? Or maybe my dream job is to work for the Canadian government and be the ambassador to Ghana, right? Because I like chocolate, or that doesn't make sense. Well, Ghana has a lot of the cocoa beans. I don't know how good their chocolate is, right? I guess if I really like chocolate, I should probably go to Belgium or Switzerland, or, well, I guess France be probably pretty good too for chocolate. I'm not 100% sure. Good for croissants, right? Croissants. Anyhow, but yeah, I would be really, really grateful and really happy. Number 9, what will you do if you miss your family while traveling? If I miss my family while traveling, and let's separate this here. If I miss my family while traveling, If I miss my family while traveling, I will have a video chat with them. I don't know. This question doesn't make much sense for me because if I am going to travel, it's probably going to be with my family. So for me, like your definition of family changes as you get older and when you have kids, right? Like when you say like family, when you're in your 20s or before you're married, your family is your mom, your dad, your siblings, right? That's your immediate family. Maybe that for you also includes cousins, like relatives, your uncles, your aunts, your grandpa, and grandma and all that kind of stuff. But for most Canadians, it just includes the nuclear family, you know, mom, dad, siblings, and your dog or your cat, right? But when you get married and you have kids, then that is your family, right? And then you start to think of your family as just your spouse and your kids, right? Of course, your extended family includes your parents, your grandparents, your uncles, your aunts, and their uncles and aunts, and blah, blah, blah. But yeah, for me, the answer here is not really exciting, but if I miss my family while traveling, I will have a video chat with them. But the question doesn't make sense for me because I wouldn't be traveling without my family, unless it's for business. And if it is for business, then yeah, I'll just have a video chat with them, bada bing, bada boom, we're all good. So let's take a look at number 10 here, guys. What will you do if you run out of gas and you're quite far away from home? Okay, let's think about this one. This can happen in Canada, right? You're driving in the forest, in the countryside, right? And you run out of gas and you're stuck in the middle of a forest and you know that the nearest town is like an hour away by car. Oh my God, what are you gonna do? And it's nighttime, right? And there's nobody else driving around. Anyhow, if yikes, what am I doing here? If I run out of gas while, and if I run out of gas and I am quite far away from home, comma, so there's our big long if statement, comma, I will, and then I need to think of what I'm going to do, what my verb is here in the infinitive form. I don't know. If I run out of gas and I'm quite far away from home, I will try to, now this is going to be weird, flag someone down. Oh wait, of course I should just call, right? Flag someone down or call for help. I guess this is a realistic but kind of boring answer. Honestly, of course, I should call for help first. If I have cell phone reception, right, I should just call for help. I'll be okay, right? If not, I'll get out of the car and try to flag someone down. So flag someone down means like when you're trying to get somebody's attention. You're like, hey, can you help me? I'm out of gas, please. Hey, whoa, don't drive by me. Come on, man. Come on, you gotta help me. I'm a human, right? I'm a human being. So anyhow, yeah, I'll try to flag someone down or call for help. Anyhow, guys, these 10 questions here are pretty interesting. I do kind of disagree with them because, let me think here. 2 and 3. A lot of these questions, maybe it would be better if they were in the second conditional, because remember, the second conditional is like unreal or imaginary situations. And for many of these situations here, they're like situations that you will probably not encounter, like number 2. Like, you're not gonna win the lottery, that's highly unlikely. Or like, well, number 3, like, yeah, break up with your good friend. Like, yeah, it can happen, right? You and your good friends have fights sometimes. Or like number 8 probably should be in the second conditional. Like, what would you do if you got your dream job? Or number 10 also, like, yeah, if you live in Canada and you're living in the countryside though, like these situations happen. You run out of gas and you're like in the forest. This actually happened to like a good friend of my dad. His job was very interesting, actually. He was like a land surveyor, and he worked for a forestry company. So what he would do is he would go out into the mountains, into the forest, and he would kind of like measure certain areas that logging companies will go and cut down trees. Now, don't think he's evil. Like, if you're very environmentally concerned, you think, oh my God, cutting down trees is so bad. Well, Canada has a lot of trees. Don't worry about it. It's fine. It's fine. And they plant trees afterwards. So, whatever. This guy was far out there in the bush, in the forest. And I think his car had broken down, so he radioed in for help. He used the radio to call up for help. And the company told him, like, don't worry, somebody will be there in about 4 hours, because he's in a really remote, isolated place way up on this mountain. And he's like, oh God. Okay, so he's waiting outside his truck, and he's kind of wandering around, and he's getting a little bit far from his truck. He's about 10 meters. And then he realized that he's being watched, right? He's not alone. And he realizes pretty quickly that it's a predator, and it's wolves. In this case, not a bear. Bear would probably be easier to deal with. The wolves are very, very quick. So 4 wolves surrounded him pretty quickly, and he had to act really, really quickly. He just picked up a tree branch, and as the wolves approached him, they were trying to nip at him, like bite him a little bit. He had to hit them, so he had to keep going around in a circle, like hitting them very, very quickly, because there are 4 of them, right? And he got really lucky. He had to keep doing this for like 3 hours, and he was completely exhausted when finally someone from his company arrived, and they had a rifle. They shot it up into the air, and the wolves escaped. And he told my dad, like, yeah, if they had come 10, 20 minutes later, he would have had to have given up because he was just too physically tired, right? And if he had dropped the branch and not been able to fight back, yeah, the wolves would have ripped him apart. Wait, what is the point of this story? Anyhow, don't get lost in the forest in Canada. And make sure you put enough gas in your truck. Okay, anyhow guys, so that's it for the questions. What we're gonna do in the third class is you guys are gonna look at some activities, but you're gonna look at some activities with Melanie, because today I'm really burnt out. I'm feeling like I'm getting a little bit sick, so Melanie is gonna take over just for the third class. I hope you guys enjoy your time with Melanie. Remember, you can take your quiz after this. Your quiz should be a little bit tough, so it would be a good idea to do some review before you take the quiz. You can take it tomorrow, you can take it on Sunday, but make sure you do some review first before you take your quiz. But that's about it for me today, guys. We're not going to be running the class next week, unfortunately, so I will see you guys the week after. And I hope you guys have an excellent weekend, and I hope that I have an excellent weekend. All right, guys, have a good one. I'll see you later.
welcome back to class. I'm Melanie. Some of you probably know me. I'm just taking over for Allan because he's feeling a little under the weather. So you're going to be with me for the last class today. All right, so we got a pretty fun game that we're going to do today. As you can see, I've been very busy with this whiteboard here, working hard to make a playing board for us. So you guys probably have the same board as I do. Looks very similar to this, except this one has a lot of nice pictures. Mine doesn't have pictures. Sorry, I didn't have enough time. So we are going to be playing a board game together. And now you'll notice, if you turn over the back, you have a set of cards. Now I know it says cut them out, but you don't have to cut them out. So I'm going to show you how exactly we're going to play. Okay, so let's pretend I'm playing. And so this is my character. So let's say I am a star. And let's pretend we have another person. Let's say we have a heart for... Let's see. Oh, we had one person comment on our last class. His name or her name, their name was Lemenu. So let's pretend we got playing with us. So is the heart. So let's pretend that I'm going to roll a dice. So actually, if you guys have a dice at home, that would be excellent. Then you can roll your own dice and tell me your number. But if you don't have a dice, that's okay. I can roll for you. So I'm going to roll for myself. Roll the dice. Maybe, actually, I'm going to bring a chair over here just so my dice doesn't go flying all over the place. Roll the dice. Okay, that didn't work. All right, so it looks like we rolled a 4. It's a 4. So that means, sorry, chair, not going to work. So this is my player. So we're both at the start. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Oh no, I have to miss a turn. Okay, so that was me. Now let's pretend doesn't have a dice, so I'm gonna roll for them. All right, are you gonna get Okay, gets 2. Okay, so gets to move 2 spaces. 1, 2. Okay, so this is just an example, but in this example, Shu's sentence is sing a song. So what they will have to do is make a sentence like this. If you sing a song, then you get to choose any card you like. If you sing a song, I will be surprised. So that is what I'd like you guys to do. Now, so here's the example sentence. If you sing a song. If you sing a song, so remember we're using our conditionals. I will, or I'll for short, be surprised. So here, again, you can choose whatever you think is an appropriate response. Maybe you won't be surprised. Maybe you'll go to sleep. Or maybe you'll cry because you hate it when people sing. So you can choose almost any of these. And you don't have to say if you could say if I sing a song, everyone will cry. So you can choose any subject. It could be if I, if you, if he, if she, if Harry Potter, if Pikachu, if whatever you like, guys. You can get creative. Okie doke? So that was the example. So I'm going to erase these because this was just for example. Okay. So do we have any other players in the house? Do we have anyone in the house? Let's see. Do we have any students? So please, if anyone's watching this live, please let me know, because obviously this is not going to be fun if I play by myself. Okay, so if you're watching this as a recording though, that's totally okay. What you can do is you can grab a dice of your own at home. You can also roll it, and on your own sheet, you're going to put your character wherever it lands, okay? So you can still do this at home, even if you're just watching the recording. You can still play against me. Okay, so let's get started. I'm not seeing anyone else here who wants to play. Come on, guys. Come play with Mel. I want some company. So yeah, let me know if you want to play. Just say, I want to play. And I'll put your name down and I'll give you a symbol. Maybe I could give you the heart symbol or a smiley face or something. Okay, well, I'm going to get started. I'm going to pretend that I have some folks playing with me. Okay, so let's get this show on the road. So I'm starting here, and all right. Oh, it looks like we do have someone joining us. Okay, awesome, thank you. All right, I'm gonna give this person a nickname. I'm gonna call them Superstar. All right, so Superstar students, thank you for joining in. Excellent. So it's me versus Superstar. Maybe we should switch these around, hey? Yeah, I'll just leave it as is. Okay, so Superstar is the heart. I am the star. Okay, so let's roll the die. I'm gonna let Superstar go first. Okay, so Superstars, they said they don't have a dice, so I'm going to roll for them. You trust me, right? Okay, here we go. Okay, Superstar, looks like you rolled a 3. All right, so Superstar is gonna go 1, 2, 3. All right, Superstar, it's sunny next weekend. So I want you to type out a sentence for me telling me if, so for example, if it's sunny next weekend, then what? So you get to choose, you can choose something from here. You can choose whatever you think is a good response. If it's sunny next weekend, let's see, what do we have? What do you think? Okay, oh, Superstar, student Superstar has said, if it's sunny next weekend, I will see some beautiful sights. Oh, nice. Okay, so that was a good option. I would probably do that too. All right, very good. Thank you, Superstar. Okay, I'm gonna roll the dice now. Let's see what I get. Okay, I got 1. Okay, so I get to advance slowly. Oh, okay, visit my country in the winter. Okay, if you visit my country in the winter, you know what? You will have a good time. You will have a good time because you can go skiing and snowboarding, and maybe it'll even be Christmas. Okay, Superstar, you get to roll again. Well, I'm rolling for you technically. Let's see what you get. Wow, that was loud. And you get a 2. Not bad, not bad. Okay, so we're gonna go with that. 1, 2. Oh, right to me. Okay, so you have to make up a... Jiyoon wants to join. Thank you, Jiyoon. All right, okay. Jiyoon, can I give you a happy face? I'm going to give you a happy face. All right, so, all right. Let's get Jiyoon in the game. First, I'm just gonna get Superstar to write up for me. Okay. So Superstar, what are you thinking? Any response? Okay, maybe they disappeared. I'm not sure. Okay, so I'll let them go ahead and write a response. If they don't write a response, maybe they just got busy. But Jiyoon, okay, so do you have a dice at home? If you don't have a dice, that's okay. I can roll for you. You can trust me, right? I can roll the dice for you. All right, so I'll roll the dice unless you have a dice at home and you really want to roll it. Okay, so I'll roll. Let's see what you get, Jiyoon. Oh, hey, you got a 4. That's not bad. Okay, Jiyoon, so smiley face. Miss Smiley Face, you're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Okay, I'm sorry, Jiyoon. You'll get a turn next time, okay? I promise. All right, so, oh, you have a dice. Okay, so Jiyoon, if you like, you can use your dice if you want to, and you can tell me what number you roll. Do you want to use your dice? If you want to use your dice, I can get rid of this and you can roll. Maybe you'll get a better turn. Okay, so tell me if you want to use your dice or if you just want me to use this dice. Up to you. I'll let you decide. Okay, so if you use your dice, I can get rid of you from this space. So Jiyoon, just tell me what number you roll, okay? Tell me what number you roll with your dice. I know there's a little bit of a time lag. Like I know it takes a couple seconds longer for whatever you type. Next time I use, okay. Okay, so I'll put you back here for then. I'm really sorry. You know what? Because you joined in late, you don't have to miss a turn. So I'll take one turn and then you can take a turn. Okie doke? So, let's see, what do I get? Ooh, I rolled a 5. Not bad. Okay, so let's see, here I am. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If it rains tonight, let's see, if it rains tonight, so I'm gonna look at this set of options here. If it rains tonight, I'm going to go to sleep. I will go to sleep. If it rains tonight, I will go to sleep. Okay, so Jiyoon, I know it says miss a turn, but don't worry about it. Go ahead and roll the dice, okay? Just roll your dice. Tell me what number you roll. Okie doke? Go for it. And I forgot my water in the other room. Of course I did. All right, that's okay. I'll drink water after class. Ooh, I wonder what you're gonna get. What number are you gonna get? Are you gonna get a high number? You're gonna get a low number? I wonder. Okay, I don't see Superstar anymore. Maybe they left. Maybe they got busy. 4, okay, Jiyoon, all right. 1, a 2, a 3, a 4. Okay. Arrive late tomorrow. Okay, so just pretend we have school tomorrow, Jiyoon. I know it's Saturday, but just pretend we have school. So what will happen if you arrive late tomorrow for school? So go ahead and tell me your sentence. If I arrive late, ooh, what will be the consequences? I'm interested to see your answer. If I arrive late tomorrow, what would I do if I arrived late tomorrow? I would probably call Judy. Be like, hey, Judy, sorry, I'm running late. Class is gonna start late. I try not to be late for class. All right, yeah, I'll give you some time to type out your question there, Jiyoon. Or not your question, your answer, your sentence. So yeah, if I arrive late, If I arrive late tomorrow, you will give me a hug? Really? Oh, that. Forgive me for being late, teacher. I see. Oh, that's sweet. Okay, I'll take that. I'll take that. Okay, thank you, Ji-eun. Time to roll the dice. Oh, if I arrive late tomorrow. Sorry, I just want to mention, when you type out your answer, maybe try to type out the first part too, because you want to make sure you get this part. So just make sure you type out the whole sentence. Okie doke? Still a great example though. Thank you, Ji-eun. Okay, so time for me to roll my dice. I got 3. Okay. All right. I got 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, give me $10. Zila Rocha. Maria, is that you? Is that you, Maria? Maria, did you join the class? Oh my gosh, that's awesome. Maria, do you want to play? Okay, well, I will put Maria. Would you like me to put you down? Let's see, what kind of symbol can I give you? So I will give Maria, if you want to join, I can give you a diamond. And if you like, I can roll for you, Maria, okay? So let's roll for Maria and see where she goes. Okay, Maria. Oh, Maria, you got 2. Yes, okay. I'm glad it is you, Maria. So, Maria, you're the diamond, so you're going to go 1, 2. Here is a diamond. Okie doke. So, Maria, do you have this sheet right here? If you have this sheet, you can pull it out and you're going to make a sentence. I'll show you how to do the sentence. So, for example, sing a song. You got sing a song. So, so for example, if you sing a song, and then you have to complete the sentence. So see if you can think of something. Think of a sentence. In the meantime, Ji-eun, it's your turn next. So Ji-eun, you can roll your dice and tell me what number you get, okay? So go ahead and roll the dice, Ji-eun. Maria, see if you can make a sentence with this. If you sing a song. Let's see. I can probably get rid of that. I can get rid of this. I can get rid of this. I'll be surprised. Awesome. If you sing a song, I'll be surprised. Yay. Oh, it's so nice. I'm glad to see everybody's joining the class today. This is awesome. Okay. So let's see. Where are we right now? All right. So we got Maria right here. We have Ji-eun right here. And I'm up here in the lead. You guys got to catch up to me. You got to beat teacher. And I think this person's gone, unfortunately. I don't see them speaking up. All right. Ji-eun got 3. Let's see. Ji-eun, where are you going to go? 1, 2, 3. Oh, okay. Ooh, if you drive fast, zoom. Okay, so Ji-eun, if you drive fast or I drive fast or someone drives fast, what's going to happen? What is going to happen? Probably something not very good. That's what I imagine. All right, I think we're done with this sentence. All right. Woo. Okay. And you know what? So I know it's supposed to be my turn next, but Maria, maybe we can get you to catch up to us. So I'm going to give my turn up to you, Maria, and I will go after you. So it'll go like this. So Jiyun is first, Maria second, and then I'm third. I take my turn last. If my husband drives fast, I will be surprised. Good. Yeah. All right. Nice. Yeah, when my husband drives fast, I'm surprised too. All right. So this is just a tiny mistake that I noticed both of you made. I will be surprised. So because this is passive, we need to put D at the end. I will be surprised. So because this is a passive verb, we have to put ED at the end. Okie doke? Okay, so Maria, I'm gonna roll the dice for you now. Here we go. Let's see, what do we got? What do we got? Oh, 2. All right, Maria, slow and steady. 1, 2. Oh no, you have to miss a turn. Okay. All right, so you know what? I'm not sure how I feel about these miss a turn spaces, because I do want you guys to speak as much as possible. So actually, you know what? Miss a turn, whatever. Let's pretend the miss a turn does not exist, because I want you guys to do some speaking. Okay, so Jiyun, or is it me? No, I'm next. Jiyun, you can also roll the dice though. So go ahead and roll your dice. Tell me what number you get. Okay, I got a 2, also going slow and steady. 1, 2. Okay, so it says go forward 1 space. Whoop. Okay, so I'm over here. If I drink too much coffee, if I drink too much coffee, if I drink too much coffee, okay, I'm gonna make up an answer. So this means you can make up your own answer. If I drink too much coffee, I will be very jittery. So jittery means like, that is jittery. I'll write that down for you. Jittery. And Jiyun has rolled a 3. Okay, so Jiyun, you're right here. 1, 2, 3. All right, Jiyun. Okay, this means you have to make up your own sentence. So this is a challenging one, but it's good. I think it's good that you get to make up your own sentence. So if blank blah 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 blah, I or you, he will blah 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 blah. So you get to make up your own sentence. Good luck. All right. I want to get rid of these miss a turn spaces because I don't think they're very good. Okay, I'm just gonna leave them blank. Miss a turn, miss a turn, miss a turn. Okay. All right, so while Jiyun's typing out her sentence, Maria, I'm gonna roll the dice for you, okay? So Maria, what you got? What you got? Ooh, you got a 4. Not bad. Okay. So Maria, Maria, you're here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Arrive late tomorrow. Oh, Jiyun says, if I lose this game, I will cry. Please don't cry. You're not too far behind me. You might be able to, you can probably win this game. Okay, so Maria, if I arrive late tomorrow. Okay, so I know that's kind of a funny one, but just pretend, Maria, we have school tomorrow. So if you arrive late at school tomorrow, what will you do? Just gonna clean up the board. All right, Jiyun's not there anymore. And I'm not there anymore. So if Maria arrives late tomorrow, if you arrive late tomorrow. Okay, I'm gonna roll my dice, and Jiyun, you can roll your dice as well and tell me your number. Okay, so rolling my dice, what do I got, what do I got, what do I got? Come on, dice. I got a 2. Okay, I'm moving very slow. Oh, you're just joking about the crying thing. Okay, it's a good joke, I like it. 1, 2. All right, nothing happens for me, I guess. I'm just gonna stay there and do nothing. Okay, so Jiyoon, just waiting for Jiyoon to roll the dice and waiting for Maria. Oh, so Maria, if you arrive late tomorrow, you'll cry? Oh, lots of crying today. If you're ever late for class, you don't have to cry. It's okay. All right, nice. Oh, Jiyoon, 6. Okay, I think you're beating me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, good job, Jiyoon. You're in the lead now. Woohoo! Oh, if you do a lot of sports. Okay, so you got another sentence to make. If you do a lot of sports. Okay. And Maria, I believe you're next. Let's see if we can get you a big number, Maria. Fingers crossed. What do we got for you? Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, you got a 2. I'm trying to get you big numbers, Maria, but it keeps giving me small numbers. 1, 2. Okay, Maria. If it rains tonight, what's going to happen? So I'll let you create a sentence. If it rains tonight, what's going to happen? What will happen? Or what will you do? What will your family do? What will people in Vancouver do? Who knows? I don't think it's going to rain tonight, actually. It looks pretty sunny outside. Yeah, I think it's going to be okay. Maybe I should go for a walk. Go for a walk, have a picnic. Sorry, I hope I'm not blocking the board too much. I know this is kind of messy the way I wrote it out. I was kind of in a rush. I'm sorry it doesn't look that nice. If you can't read it, of course, you can look at this. This is exactly the same as this, except I took out the miss a turn. If I do a lot of sports, I will be very tired. Nice, very good, Jiyoon. I will be very tired too if I do a lot of sports. Okay, so, I lost track. Oh yeah, so we're just waiting for Maria to do the if it rains. I'm gonna roll my dice in the meantime. And, so Maria says, if it rains tonight, I will stay at home. Nice, okay. I probably will stay at home too. All right, so I'm gonna roll my dice. Jiyoon, you can roll your dice too. Go ahead. I got a 4. Okay, that's not bad, not bad. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I gotta make up a story. I gotta make up a sentence. Tell me a story. Okay. If Daisuke tells us a story, let's see. If Daisuke tells us a story, we will be very pleased. We will be very happy. So that's my sentence. All right. So let's see. We can get rid of this. Maria's back here and Jiyoon's no longer here. All right. So just waiting for Jiyoon to tell me her number so I can move her forwards. Let's see where you end up, Jiyoon. And I guess I can get rid of this. There we go. All right. Just waiting on a number. Okay, while we're waiting, Maria, I'm gonna roll the dice for you. Alrighty, here we go. What do you got? What do you got? Oh, you got a 4. Not bad, Maria, not bad. Okay, let's move you up. A 1, a 2, a 3, a 4. Okay, Maria, you have to make up your own sentence, okay? If blah, 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 blah. I, you, he, she, will, blah, blah, blah. So you got to make up your own sentence. Good luck. Jiyoon got a 1. Oh, very small number. That's okay. That's okay. Okay, and Jiyoon, I'm sorry, but once again, you also have to make up your own sentence. I know this is the second time for you. You guys are smart though. I know you can do this. No problem. Oh my goodness. I really wish I brought my water with me. Okay, let's see. We're about halfway done. Ooh. And we get rid of that. Excellent. So I'm going to roll the dice for myself. Let's see what I get. Okay, I got a 4. I keep seeing the same numbers popping up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh God, of course I get this one. If I eat too many burgers, I will be ill. I'm going to be sick. So to be ill means to be sick. And Ji-eun has a sentence. If I meet a bear, I will run away. Oh yeah, I think I might run away too. Be careful though. If you start running, the bear might run after you. So do be careful. Maybe just walk away slowly. So be careful if you ever meet a bear. All right, so now Ji-eun, sorry. You get to roll the dice, Ji-eun, my bad. So go ahead, roll your dice. Fingers crossed you get a nice big number like a 5 or a 6. And then you can overtake me, hopefully. And all right, we're just waiting on Maria to make her sentence. I know this is one of the trickier ones, making your own sentence. I understand. Okay. Oof, what a dry mouth I have. I have not seen a bear. Oh, Ji-eun, you got a 2. All right, so let's see. 1, 2. Okay, so I'll just get rid of that. So Ji-eun, don't call me later. So you're expecting a phone call, but if someone doesn't call you later, what's gonna happen? So let you go ahead and make up your sentence. And all right, I know, Maria, I know you're still writing out your sentence, but I'm gonna roll the dice for you anyway, just to keep you going, okay? Woo, let's see. Oh dear, okay. Just a 1, unfortunately. Oh, if I eat onion, I'll have a headache. Oh dear, that's not good. Okay, so Maria, okay, so you get 1. Oh, but go forward 1 space. Woohoo! Okay, so Maria, you're actually here now. So Maria, if you drink too much coffee, what's gonna happen? What will happen if you drink too much coffee? All right, and I'm gonna roll the dice for myself. Ji-eun, feel free. Oh, that's okay if it's delayed, Maria, no problem. The camera here, it's a little delayed too. So I know that I have to wait for like 20 seconds or 30 seconds for people to respond. So don't worry if your iPad's a bit delayed, it's okay. Now, all right, and let's see, Ji-eun. Oh yeah, so you're still making your sentence, that's okay. All right, and I feel like I just went. All right, so no worries, guys. I'll just hang out until we get some answers in. Okay, so, I'll spend a lot of money. Oh, if you drink too much coffee, you'll spend a lot of money, hey? All right, nice. Yeah, that's very true. Okay, oh, I think it is my turn actually. So I'm gonna roll the dice. Okay, I got a 2. All right, so I'm gonna move 2 spaces. 1, 2, okay, nothing happens to me again. Oh, Ji-eun, nice, okay. If you don't call me later, I will go home. Okay, good answer. So now Ji-eun, you get to roll your dice. Hopefully you get a big number. Hopefully not a 1. Okay, so let's see. I'm up here. You're here, Ji-eun. Maria, you're over here. You guys can still win this though. If you get some big numbers and I keep getting tiny numbers, you could definitely win. So good luck, guys. Good luck. Alrighty. So, what number do you have, Ji-yoon? All right, so while Ji-yoon is rolling, oh, no, there we go. She rolled 3. Nice. 1, 2, 3. Okay, Ji-yoon, you got the same one I got. If you eat too many burgers, too many hamburgers, oh, feel so sick. Oh dear. All right, and I'm gonna roll for you, Maria. Hopefully we got a nice big number. Okay, not bad. You got a 3, Maria. So I'm gonna move you. 1, 2, 3. All right, this is where you are. Cook dinner for me. Ah, that sounds nice. So I know, Maria, you're always cooking dinner. So now someone gets to cook dinner for you. Who's gonna cook dinner for you? All right, we'll get rid of this, get rid of that. Alrighty. Looking good, looking good. Okay, and okay, so we rolled for Maria, we rolled for Ji-yoon. I'm gonna roll for myself. Okay, I got another 2. I keep getting 2s, I feel. 1, 2. Okay, so I have to make up a sentence for myself now. If. If the weather is good tomorrow, I will go stand-up paddle boarding with my friends. You guys know what that is? So stand-up paddle boarding is where you stand on. I explained it in the morning class today. Doo-doo. So this is when you're in the water. So this is called stand-up paddle boarding. So this is what I'm going to do. Okay, I thought I saw, oh, okay, Ji-yoon says, if I eat too many burgers, I will be very pleased. Oh, really? Oh, usually people do not feel too good after eating too many burgers. All right. Okay, Maria, if cook dinner for me. So actually, this is more if someone else cooks dinner for you. So for example, I see what you, okay, I see what you, okay, I understand. So Maria said, if she cooks dinner for me, she'll do pasta. Okay, thank you, Maria. It's very nice of you. If I cook dinner for you, I'll do Japanese curry. Japanese curry is fun. Why not? Okay. Oh, sorry, Ji-yoon, you can roll the dice. Sorry, I keep forgetting. Roll that dice. Go for it. We got 10 minutes. I wonder if we'll be able to finish. We might be able to. Okay. So I wonder what you're going to get, Ji-yoon. And Maria, I'm going to roll for you as well. Let's see, we're gonna get you a nice big number. Oh, okay, it was okay. You get a 3 again. I'm sorry, Maria. This dice never gives 6s. I don't know why. Stingy dice. 1, 2, 3. Okay, Maria. Okay, and Ji-yoon, you're 3. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Oh, you're catching up to me there. Okay. Don't help me with my homework. And Maria, you are, tell me a story. So, someone can tell you a story, for example. So if blah, blah, blah tells you a story. So remember the example I gave? If Daisuke tells us a story, we will be very pleased. Yeah, that's just an example. So good luck, guys. Make a nice sentence. Okay, let's clean up the board. Maria's no longer back here. So Maria's there. Ji-un is no longer here. She's right behind me. Okay. Well, I guess I'll roll the dice, see where I end up. Okay. Oh, I get a 1. Wow. I get to go so far. Okay. Aren't careful. Okay, so this is going to be a you. If you aren't careful when you go hiking. Oh, okay, I'm gonna make up my own sentence here. If you aren't careful when you go hiking, you will meet a bear. That's my sentence. Okay, and Maria says, if I tell you a story, you'll cry. I'm gonna cry. Do you tell scary stories? History. I see. Okay. If you don't help me with my homework, I will be very angry. Uh-oh. Okay, don't want to make Ji-un angry. All right, Ji-un, time for you to roll that dice. Let's see where you end up. And Maria, I will roll the dice for you. Let's see. Okay, once again, you get a 3. The dice seems to like you for number 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, Maria, you're going to make a sentence with work hard. That's your sentence, Maria. And let's see what Ji-un rolls. Okay. Get rid of this. 5. Oh, Ji-un, nice. Big number. Okay, you're going to beat me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well done. Okay. Ji-un, have enough time. That's going to be your sentence. Have enough time. All right, good luck, guys. Let's see. I guess I can roll for myself. What am I going to get? Oh, guess what? I got 1 again. Okay, so I seem to be getting these really low numbers, which is lucky for you guys. Okay, ask me politely. Let's see. If you ask me politely, I'll help you with your homework. How is that, Ji-un? If you ask me politely, I'll help you with your homework. Okay, so let's see where we are standing. Get rid of this, and you're not here. All right, so at the end here we have Maria, not too bad. Then I'm in second place, and in the front is Ji-un. Oh, she might win. Ji-un says, if she has enough time, she will go to sleep. Nice, right on. Yeah, I think we all want to go to sleep, hey? Okay, so let's see. Oh yeah, I rolled for myself already. So Ji-un, you get to roll again. We'll just wait for Maria to finish working hard. But it's okay, Maria. I'll keep rolling for you in the meantime. I know you're typing right now. So Maria is a 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we seem to be getting the same ones. All right. Ugh. All right, so don't worry. Maria, you can send this in first. Later you can do this. Don't worry. And Ji-un, just waiting for your number. 1. Oh, just a 1? Okay, so Ji-un, 1. It says go back 1 space. So you're stuck here. Sorry, Ji-un. It's okay. Next time. Next time. If you roll a 1 again, you can just stay there. Okay. Maria, if I work hard, I'll be very tired. Yes, I think so. Absolutely. Okay. And Maria, this is your next one right here. Now you're done this. And okay, I'm going to roll the dice. And Ji-un, you can roll your dice too. Hopefully you don't get 1 again. Okay, so I got a 3. Where am I? 1, 2, 3. Oh, look at that. I also have to go back here. Okay. If I have enough time, Oh my God, what will I do? I will study Japanese. There we go. I used to study Japanese more, but now I don't have much time. So if I have enough time, I will study more Japanese. Okay, so Ji-yoon has a 4. Okay, Ji-yoon's out of here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, you're hitting all the ifs there, Ji-yoon. All of them. You make really funny sentences though, so I like it. Now, okay, so Maria, I'm gonna roll the dice for you. You're not too far behind us actually. All right, Maria, you got a 3. So, 1, 2, 3. Okay. So, you can finish this one first, Maria, then you can do Ask Me Politely. Sorry if I'm going a little bit fast. It's because we're almost out of time. We have like 4 minutes till the end of class. And it would be nice to see somebody win the game. Okay. So, all right, now I'm gonna roll the dice for myself. Let's see what I get. Okay, I got a 2. So, 1, 2. Okay, if I go out every night, I will be, if I go out very night, no, blah. If I go out every night, I will have a good time. Oh yeah. But actually, I'll probably be very tired. I want to think I'll have a good time, but I'll probably be very tired. If you don't help me with my homework, I'll cry again. Oh, lots of crying for Maria. Aw. Okay, so this is your next sentence, Maria. And Ji-yoon says if she forgets her phone, she will cry. I feel like cry is the popular one out here, hey? Okay, so Ji-yoon, you're gonna roll the dice. This might be your last time. 1, 2, 3. If you roll a 3 or higher, you're going to win the game. Sorry, no, if you win a 4 or higher. If you win a 4 or higher, you will win the game automatically. Okay, and I'm gonna roll the dice for Maria. Maria, you got a 2. Oh, okay. 1, 2. Okay, so Maria, you're here now. Have enough time. Okay, so let's see what number Ji-yoon gets. Oh, I'm very curious. Ask you. Okay, Ji-yoon got a 6. 1, 2, 3. Yay, Ji-yoon, you won the game. Good job. Woo! Well done, Ji-yoon. Now you don't have to cry because you won. Nice. Well done, guys. Okay, Maria, ask politely. Okay, no worries if you don't understand. So polite, it means it's the opposite of rude. So for example, when you go to a restaurant, usually the waiter will be very polite. So the waiter will say, "Excuse me, hello there. May I take your order? Are you ready to have your order taken?" So that is very polite. Yes, awesome. I'm glad you're happy, Ji-yoon. All right. So to ask politely. So Maria, let's say for example, I'm really hungry, but I'm too lazy to cook my dinner. I want you to cook me dinner. So if I say, "Hey, Maria, make me dinner," that is not polite. What is polite is if I say, "Maria, I'm so hungry. Could you please make me some dinner? I'd be so appreciative." That is asking politely. All right. Yes, congratulations, Ji-yoon. Okay, so in first place, we have Ji-yoon. In second place, we have me. And at the back, but not far behind, we have Maria. Well done, guys. You caught up really fast, Maria. Good stuff. Okay, guys, so that is the end of our lesson today. Thank you so much for joining in. So just a reminder, I think you might have a quiz. Try to get that handed in on Sunday or maybe Monday if you can. Remember, Monday you're going to be back in class at GC, at the school. Allan will be teaching you next week, so I hope you have a great time. We're looking forward to seeing you. Thank you guys. Have a lovely weekend. Bye-bye.